How's it going, you guys? So in this video I wanted to discuss vision loss and how you can actually reverse vision loss even if it's to the point to where you wear glasses every single day. So most people don't know the root causes of vision loss. They don't know how to reverse vision loss. They don't even know that it's possible. Most people subscribe to the faulty, false belief that vision loss is genetic and there's nothing they can do about it but get glasses. And the fact of the matter is that's false. And it's not your fault if you believe that. The fact is, even health professionals are taught this model, and it's one of the reasons why most diseases are not, they're not reversed in mainstream medicine, is because they're never taught the root cause. They're only taught how to treat it with prescriptions to feed these large corporations with money, and meanwhile the population is suffering. So again, there are many different causes, the first of which, and by the way, you guys, I was actually prescribed glasses back in like 2011, and I was told I need to wear them or I can't see, blah blah blah. But I refused to listen to that because I knew that there were quite a few things that were probably contributing to it. Because around the time when my vision started to get bad, there were some very specific habits that I knew were ruining my health, and they were causing me a whole bunch of other problems on the side. And when I just fixed the root cause, all of my other problems went away. So, first of all, your eyes, you need to think, so your eyes are connected to your brain, and so people who have certain neurological problems are going to notice changes in their vision. But the most practical way to think about your eyes is to think in terms of strengthening and weakening certain muscles, okay? Strengthening and relaxing certain muscles, because there actually are muscles that control the function of your eyes. And essentially, the fact is, there's actually a couple methods out there. I forgot what they're called because it's been a long time since I've researched this. But I researched this extensively for a number of years. And essentially, there is a method that that you can use, emphasizing the following model I'm about to describe. So basically, the muscles of your eyes can adapt to objects close up and objects far away. And the more you stare at an object right in front of you, okay, let's say you're wearing a hat, right? If that hat is in your field of vision, your eyes are going to have trouble focusing on what's far away when your hat is right there. Or if you wear glasses every day, if you wear sunglasses every day, if you wear regular glasses every day, the whole reason why you have to continue to strengthen your eyeglasses prescription is because those eyeglasses are sitting right there on your face, and your eye is strengthening the muscles required to focus on the glasses close up. And those glasses actually at the same time make your eyes weaker at seeing things in the distance. And so the more you wear glasses, the weaker your eyes get through those two mechanisms. Because your eyes, first of all, are strengthening the muscles for nearsightedness. They're strengthening the muscles of seeing things right in front of you. And that's actually usually what causes it in the first place, especially because we have cell phones now. We have, computer screens now. And, a lot of like older people used to say if you watch the television too close that you're going to go blind, and they weren't entirely wrong. The fact is, it doesn't really matter what the stimulus is, even if it's a tree. If you're staring at a tree, if you're staring at a wall right there in front of you, like if your parents put you in timeout for a large number of time in your childhood, your eyes are going to adapt to staring at the wall right in front of you. Conversely, if you go out on a walk out in nature and you are, constantly looking into the distance, your eyesight is going to be fine. Your eyesight is going to strengthen the muscles of looking into the distance on a regular basis, and at the same time, you'll also have the strength, the eye strength to see things close up at the same time. In fact, I wouldn't even say that I wouldn't say that it's the phone specifically. I wouldn't say that it's the nearsightedness. I wouldn't say like, oh, you're staring at things too close too often. What I would say is you're not you're not giving your brain the stimulus to see things far away enough. I would say that the muscles required to see things far away are too weak. Okay? It's not necessarily that your eyes are just like completely adapted to seeing things close up. It's that your brain, you're not looking at things far away on enough. So those muscles for seeing things in the distance are become weak. Okay? It doesn't help that you're constantly staring at things right in front of you. But if you never strengthen those eye muscles required to see things far away, you're you're not going to be able to see things far away. That's all there is to it. And so it's possible that your eyes are just completely adapted to only focus on nearsighted objects. But I think it's more accurate to say, look, you need to start to look at things far away, start to read signs from as far as is comfortable, and slowly progress yourself over time. Um, and if your job requires you to look at computer screens and things, I mean, on one side of things, I wouldn't worry too much about it because I don't think it's computer screens exactly. I think it's the fact that all day your job is to look at a computer screen. You know, all day you're looking at a screen in front of you. All day you're focusing on nearsighted objects, and you don't spend any time focusing on far distance objects. And so it's not like, oh, your eyes can only adapt to short distances or long distances. No, it's just that your eyes can adapt to both, but you never look at things in the distance, so those muscles become weak. So, don't freak out about that, but just start to try to read signs in the distance. Focus, try to get your eyes to focus on distance reading and things like that. To strengthen those long distance muscles, so you're no longer nearsighted. And if you're wearing glasses, you got to slowly lower the prescription over time and practice focusing on distant objects without the glasses. Spend 10, 15, 30 minutes a day trying to strengthen those long distance muscles and really work at it like a gym routine. And eventually you'll be able to restore your eyesight. So I think that is the number one most important thing, because for me personally, I definitely noticed it wasn't until I really started to use the computer, use the smartphone especially, that my eyesight really started to go away. And I even noticed my dad, and there's plenty of science to support this, and there's many actual experts in the field who promote this method, and they have their own ways of doing this. But I know my dad, I mean, he's in poor health. In my opinion, he's been in poor health for a long time. I think the only thing keeping him alive is the marijuana he smokes. I don't know. But, and I don't smoke, but, that's my only guess. Just bad diet, eats whatever the fuck he wants, always has, chews tobacco and everything. But the thing is, he's always been a hunter. He's always hunted, he's always done fishing, and so he was always looking into the distance. Like, anyone who's ever gone fishing knows they're just sitting there for hours, like staring into a lake out in the distance. Or they're, when you're hunting, you're just there in a little shack, like staring out into the woods, looking to see if you find like a deer. So he has very strong distance seeking muscles in his eyes. And he's never used computers or smartphones. In fact, he was the type of person to always talk shit about smartphones. He's always like talked down on them, like, you kids and your phones, I don't need technology. Reality is he just didn't understand how computers worked and never wanted to learn. And now just in the last 2 years he got a smartphone, and it's taken up his whole entire life, I guess. I don't know. He's always on Facebook sharing dumb memes, but his eyesight was perfect. 2020, beyond 2020, his eyesight was so perfect for so long. and it's just recently starting to go downhill now that he's using a smartphone. Whereas for me, immediately within a couple years of using a computer excessively and a smartphone, my eyesight started to go down with it. So I noticed a direct correlation between phone usage and eyesight. And having long hair and seeing through the hair and wearing glasses all the time can also change that. But anyway, I think you guys get the picture. So that's the first thing. The second thing is blood sugar. So for me, I notice even more of a correlation between the amount of processed refined foods and also caffeine usage and then my eyesight. Back in 2008, late 2008, but definitely all through 2009, I was drinking, anywhere from 2 to 4 Monster energy drinks a day. And that was around the time every part of my health started to go downhill. So in 2009, that whole year, I was just drinking Monster energy drinks, like, full sugar, and I had just started to live on my own. So I was in control of all the food I was eating. So I was no longer eating the home-cooked meals my mom made for me, and I was no longer being restricted by what she bought at the store. I had my own money. Started to, eat bucket loads of pasta every day, snack cakes, and since I was in a band, I remember during band practice, I loved band practice so much because we'd just be a group of guys hanging out, having fun, making music, cracking jokes, and just munching out on everything. And I would stop at the convenience store before practice, and I would buy 1 to 4 energy drinks, and then I'd buy as many snack cakes and candy as I possibly could. And mind you, I was not overweight, and I definitely am not overweight now, but that was just what I was addicted to, and it was disgusting. And I remember feeling so bad. I remember I was all excited. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get my munchies, And then within an hour, starting to drink it and eat it, I couldn't understand why I was beginning to be increasingly anxious, increasingly jittery, increasingly irritable. It's because of all the sugar and all the caffeine, spiking your cortisol, spiking your adrenaline, and definitely giving you a horrible surge in glucose and insulin. It was disgusting. And I continued that behavior like all the way up until about 2014. I started to taper off. And I had all sorts of health problems, but my vision in particular went completely out the shitter right around the time I started to drink Monster and eat snack cakes. And it's not like the typical, I guess the typical person's just as bad, right? Stop at Starbucks and get 1,000 calories worth of sugar in their Starbucks latte with a bagel or a donut or something on the side, no fucking protein. And then lunch might be like a hamburger, hopefully, because that's the only real food, meat they're gonna get all day, and then pasta for dinner. My diet was almost entirely carbs, sugar, and refined fats. I ate hardly any fruits, vegetables, protein, any real food, any substance. Everything I ate was spiking my insulin. Nothing I ate was building my body. So I was likely deficient in protein and many vitamins and minerals, and I was eating an excess of carbohydrates to the point where I'm lucky I didn't die. And whether you think you're diabetic or not, okay, if that is the way you're eating, if you're eating high amounts of carbs, and really look back at when your vision started to fail and think about, did your diet change? Did you start to eat more carbohydrates? Did you start to drink more caffeine? Did you just start drinking caffeine? Because I never drank caffeine until around that time. And when I started to drink caffeine, that was when my vision and my health started to fail. Of course, there's all sorts of other things like sugar on the side, but you get the picture. So that's extremely important. Now, obviously, there's other things like vitamin A consumption. Vitamin A plays a major role in your eyesight. And personally, I would not recommend supplements. Now, most people aren't going to want to do what I would recommend, but in order to get enough vitamin A to function every day, and to reverse, signs of vitamin A deficiency like night blindness and just, blindness in general, malfunctioning of the eyes, I highly recommend, if you can't eat liver, like 100% I think liver is the best, because most people don't get enough vitamin A in their diet, and I seriously don't believe that plant-based vitamin A is effective. I don't think carrots are a good source of vitamin A, not in the practical sense, because, you know, if we take into consideration not just, you know, polymorphisms, you know, certain people have certain genetic polymorphisms that hinder their ability to convert carotenoids, you know, plant vitamin A, beta-carotene, into the active form, which is what your body actually uses. About 50% of the population actually is genetically inclined to not be able to convert it. But at the same time, in general, vitamin A from plants has extremely poor conversion rates, and it's just not reliable. And there's been numerous people who come out talking about how they get vitamin A deficiencies when they go vegan. And so, you know, in that case, maybe take a retinol palmitate supplement. But I think liver is the best source of vitamin A because it doesn't take much to get an effective dose. You just eat 2 ounces of liver every single day, and that will give you enough vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin K2, vitamin E, all the fat-soluble vitamins, along with enough EPA and DHA omega-3. All of those things are contained in liver, and just 2 ounces a day. You know, if you get calf liver, it's not going to taste bad, and if you know how to prepare it, it'll taste pretty damn good. And just keep it up for the long term. I know for me personally, I'm damn sure I've had a vitamin A deficiency, and especially if you take vitamin D supplements, you know, higher vitamin D without adequate vitamin A, it's going to actually start to, it's going to cause a vitamin A deficiency, because all the fat-soluble vitamins actually counteract each other, and you have to take them in proper ratios. And so when I started eating liver and eating a lot more eggs, and you know, I started to feel so much fucking better every single time. People are telling me that I need to watch out because I might get vitamin A toxicity, but if anything, I have a deficiency right now. So egg yolks are also another decent source, but they're not, I wouldn't say they're an adequate source. It takes quite a lot of egg yolks in order to get enough vitamin A each day, but it's better than not getting any vitamin A at all. You could take a vitamin A supplement, but again, you're going to have to be careful with the ratios of vitamin D and other fat-soluble nutrients. You know what I mean? But a cod liver oil supplement is a good idea. I have a cod liver oil supplement that contains extra vitamin A palmitate. It contains high levels of vitamin D3, which is very important. It also contains vitamin E, and then I take extra vitamin K2, MK4 on the side. And these nutrients work together to enhance absorption and to enhance the effects of the others. I've made many videos explaining the more complicated science and mechanisms behind each of them, so you want to check that out if you haven't already. So, you know, and then also caffeine usage plays a role. Like if you're always stressed, you're going to notice blurry vision, and cortisol. More cortisol, you know, and that can be increased by coffee consumption, caffeine supplementation, just faulty thought patterns in general, any kind of hormonal medications you might be taking. All these things can increase cortisol, and an increase in cortisol is going to affect your vision quality. So be very, you know, on point with you know, hormonal health. So anyway, if you have any questions, definitely leave them down below. If you need me to go into detail about anything, or if you want any source references or anything like that, let me know. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video.